Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Wednesday, the 4th of February, 2026. Well, what a day. We continue to see the software companies in the stock market get hit. Semiconductors, the other part of it, down a little bit too, but not as much as the hit that's happening in the tech. And what it's coming down to is people are just dumping software, holding on to the chip makers, if you will, but I'm not saying those chip makers are doing all that great. There's rotation into other markets, and we'll cover that. I appreciate how many of you wrote me and you want me to cover a couple of different markets, and I'm going to tonight, so we'll do that. And I'm going to give you a new look on the individual stocks that we have as well, so you'll be able to see that. As we look at the markets, it was a pretty mixed bag. You got hit pretty hard in QQQ, down another $10. SPY down another $334. The Dow up a little bit, and the RSP was up. The Russell even came down. In the gold market, down. Now, keep in the back of your mind, lots happening between Iran and the U.S. Excuse me there. That's that lingering cough from having the flu. What's happening is, one moment there's the meeting's going to take place, and first it was Turkey, now it's Oman, next minute it's not. I just did a show in Australia where the announcer was saying the meeting's not taking place, and then my Reuters lit up that it is taking place. I don't know what's going on. But here's the part. If the U.S. attacks Iran's military structure in some way again, and President Trump said that he had heard today that they were trying to build another area to do more nuclear development, watch out, because then the gold market and probably the oil takes off to the upside. If for one way or the other they talk and magically Iran says it will give up its enriched nuclear uranium, but somehow, some way, the U.S. allows them to do uranium enrichment with oversight of only low-grade uranium, well, then the opposite happens. You don't have the bid into the gold because of Iran, and you certainly, at that point, would see Iranian oil unsanctioned in some manner over a period of time. It's a wild bet going into this weekend. That's what I'm trying to make clear. You're still adding yield to the bonds. The 10-year note is sitting here now at about 4.27. The gold market down, the miners got a little bit, and copper got hit pretty hard, and the futures too. It was down about 22 cents today, so it got hit pretty hard. You can see U.S. automakers got a bid in them, so not everything's down. There's markets, the consumer discretionary up too. Rivian was down 4 cents. Tesla down $15. It keeps probing this $400 level. We'll see if it can come down there. One of the big winners of the day was Eli Lilly, up almost 10% on the day, but Novo got hit the other way. So it's a tale of, remember that movie? Tale of Two Cities in that book. Great both of them. Challenger Gray, we're going to see in the morning corporate job cuts. They come out at 6:30. We're going to see jobless claims come out tomorrow at 7:30. The all-important JOLTS report, the job openings and labor turnover, will come out at 9. And the EI natural gas report comes out at 9:30. I'm showing you all these numbers because if they get the withdrawal that they're looking for of 375 billion cubic feet, I believe that sets a new record, breaking the one in 2018 of January. Either way, it's a big draw. I live in the Midwest here. We are now, I think, 19 or 20 days in a row below, our high is below freezing. So none of the snow is melting here, excuse me, other than when the sun hits it and it takes it down a little bit, but still plenty of it on the ground. And yet we're going to be in the 40s and 50s next week. So things are changing to the positive. All right, let's go to the charts now and talk about them. So we've been talking about an energy transfer, which I really like this stock a lot. They engage in natural pipeline transfers, and you can read about it. As I said, Google them and you'll get an idea of what they do. This is a pattern of congestion now taking place. You've got markets with lower highs, lower lows. So what you have taking place is the short-term trend, very short-term, is to the downside unless the market gets over 1847. I hope you like the way that we're doing this. I experimented in the futures last night, and a lot of people like that. I can't yet do it in everything. Most of the ETFs are going to look the old way. Moving average of closes, we have the 100 here, the 200, and the 18. It's not the best bullish setup. The best is when you have the shortest over the 100 and the 100 over the 200. But it's still power. You had a crossover take place back here on the 200 and the 100, and the market just kept lifting itself. The bias is up because you're over the 18-week average of closes. In terms of Bollinger Bands, this is a market that has no problem riding it a little bit, backing off, and then riding it again. But ever since it got over the 18-day average right here, it hasn't looked back. So it is a market that's come from the 1650s, got up about $2 from there, and now the market is getting some digestion, if you will, of this rally. It's got to do that, and I still think it's in pretty good overall shape, especially if you keep the embedded reading. Now, if the red line here of 82.93 were to close under 79, then I think you go back to the 18-day average. But I do think major support's going to be found here if you have a break there again in the 1690 level. Caterpillar's just doing phenomenal. Number one, they have embraced all this AI technology. I had a friend that was on the board of Bunge and ADM for years. Used to be the chairman of Sara Lee. And I'm dealing back, he and I go back 30, 40 years, and he was chairman, I don't know how many, maybe 20 years ago, something like that. And they were all looking into how can they take artificial intelligence for plants and so on. Well, Caterpillar's mastered a lot of this, not just for farming, but all kinds of equipment, grading equipment and the like. And you can see. Now, did they peak out today in the near term? Looks to me like it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the market back and fill and maybe try to get back into the 650 area or wherever the 18-week average comes in. The market was trying to embed. Doesn't look like it's going to on this. We'll see. I'll keep it up for a little bit here too. What are everybody doing? Well, they're scared, so they're buying chocolate. Yeah, Hershey Company's on fire. This is a new high. I didn't realize that. I'm so glad you brought it up. And just write me, as you know, on YouTube on some of these, and I will bring them up and we'll cover them for a few days at a time and bring on others. But higher lows, higher highs over the Bollinger Band, not embedded. So I think professional money up here is taking money off the table, looking for ways to buy on the next break in the market. That's what I'm expecting. When we take a look at Apple common stock, as you could see, it's still running to the upside. I think somebody heard me buy my phone finally. It took me a while, and the market has kept going with that. Sorry for that. My cat, she lays right under the camera, believe it or not, and she sat up for a moment there. And she's always with me. I just love animals. SanDisk, be careful here. You've lost the bullish embedded reading. So before prices take out now 725, I can make an argument that at least a run before you take that out should happen towards wherever the 18-day average comes in. Right now it's at 491, but it'll climb every day. Alphabet, Google, you know, we've been hearing about all this, and you're seeing these companies, Meta, Alphabet, everybody's spending like mad on AI because they want to capture their market share. Understand that they're not going to get back all that money right away. So in this environment, the market punishes for increasing your CapEx. Apple's winning because they didn't go that route. They're leasing their AI and it's working for them. So you're coming down here, but I don't think they're losing market share. I think they're gaining it in everything I'm seeing. Rivian Automotive still slipping away. It's got a bearish embedded reading. Not the time to add. When it takes out, well, let's put it this way. When it loses the embedded reading, that's when I think traders can come in longer term and buy. And if the market clears again, this 100-day average in green and the 18-day average, that's where I think you can take a look. And over that first move, I think you buy it again, potentially. The word is potentially, coming up into the 22 or higher area. That could be more towards the summer when the new cars due to be released. Joby Aviation still getting beaten up. Sorry about that. The chart jumped on me and I have no way to move my cursor right there to make it move for you. Then in XLF, which is the financial select services, you've come back and you're holding. Now remember what we were talking. These are the big boy banks, and they got beaten up. I don't think you disagree that they came from the $57 mark, got back about 10% lower into the $52.50 area, and now they're holding. Have they established a new trend? I don't think so yet. They've got a higher high and a lower low. They were oversold, then embedded, but they were embedded, then oversold, and the goal was to get to the 18-day average, the red line, and they did so. So we need to see what they do. I like the industrial sector. The market likes it. The market is trying to embed. If it can embed pullbacks into the 18-day average, will probably be an area the market looks for support. In XLE, I've got another one of these, so I can't give you what the market did. We'll pass on that. I don't know why it jumped that way. I'm on the alpha version of the software, and we're working things out. That's why some of the ETFs, I have to show it this way, but individual stocks, I can show with the full name. We'll work on that tomorrow, too. I always help this company with that. Higher lows, higher highs. You can see how the market is sitting here against this. What do I think? I think that gold is okay. I think people are seeing the situation in Iran similar to my take on it. And as that take goes on, what do I think that they're going to look at? I think they're going to all look and see just what goes on, how it goes on. And the take will be if the U.S. has to ramp up and start hitting sites in Iran again, gold can move maybe to the highs one more time. Why not? If Iran were to give up the nuclear problems, you've got a gold top and you probably drop a little bit more. That's my real take on it. Walmart, $1 trillion stock, joins a big group. You're approaching 3 days now over the upper Bollinger Band. You rarely stay more than 5. So look for the price to correct a little bit as the Bollinger Band goes higher. Microsoft. If you were to ask me one of the stocks I thought was going to be great this year because of AI, this is the one. And boy, did that turn out to be a bad thought on my part. For the year, this market's down pretty good. I mean, it did start out, when we look at it here, in the 470s. You're already down from there to 409. That's a heck of a drop. I don't have my clients in that, by the way. Liking ideas and trading off the chart are very different. And I want to bring up something. You're probably in your portfolio getting hurt a little bit. Not all the traders are. They're going short, they're going long. But the people that are investing, market after market is correcting right now. Not unusual. You had a banner year in 2025. You started off and people are rotating, fixing portfolios, doing a lot of things. You're seeing that in BND. While people say, oh, President Trump wants to lower rates, they're not going down. The economy's too strong. And until you see a reason for that economy to weaken, nothing to do. Now, we are going to get your jobless reports. You're going to get all these other information coming out now, and we'll see if they show that the economy's weakening. I'm looking for a top in the dollar against the 18-day average. Right now, the trend is up from the swing line. The bias is down because you're under that average, and you've corrected an oversold condition in the market. If I'm looking for a dollar top, I'm looking for a bottom to form an FXE against this number. We'll see if those two work out that way. So that's where I look at the markets. If you want to see what we do, how we do it, you can move your cursor to the top up here at any point. It'll take you to our website. You can look at my research. You can get free offers, anything you want there. You'll have another site there. Or you can just go to IraEpstein.com. It doesn't get simpler than that. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great evening. Watch the other videos, and I'll catch up with you all in the morning. Have a great night.